Hey Raiders fans, we're back with an exclusive video and the latest updates on our beloved Las Vegas Raiders. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. That way, you'll always stay up to date with breaking news and exclusive content. There's a storm brewing over the Las Vegas Raiders, and it's the kind of shockwave that leaves fans and analysts questioning everything they thought they knew about the team's stability and future. Maxx Crosby, the defensive powerhouse whose relentless energy has become a defining feature of the Raiders' frontline, has reportedly been suspended due to a doping violation, sending ripples of disbelief through the NFL community. Sources suggest that the news came from internal team channels before hitting mainstream media, and the timing could not be worse for a team already struggling to find consistency on both sides of the ball. The impact of Crosby's absence cannot be overstated. Analysts are already speculating on how the Raiders' defensive schemes, which heavily relied on his speed, agility, and sheer force at the edge, will have to be completely restructured. This is not just a roster problem. It's a cultural and psychological blow to a locker room that had begun to coalesce around Crosby's leadership. Rumors are circulating that the team's management and coaching staff were blindsided, with internal meetings reportedly extending late into the night to figure out an immediate response, and there's a sense that the fallout could extend well beyond the field. Adding to the drama, insiders claim that Crosby's suspension has opened a can of worms regarding team protocols and oversight. Questions are being asked about the Raiders' internal testing procedures, medical staff, and even the advisory role of front office executives, all under intense scrutiny. Social media is abuzz with fans speculating whether the league's investigation might reveal systemic issues or if this is an isolated incident, but the fear of deeper problems is palpable. Meanwhile, players within the locker room are said to be in a state of disbelief, with some expressing frustration over potential implications for their own reputations and careers. The timing of this suspension could not be more critical, as the Raiders are in the midst of what many would call a pivotal stretch, where team cohesion and morale are essential to navigate a challenging schedule. Betting markets, draft analysts, and fantasy football pundits alike are now scrambling to adjust projections, with Crosby's absence creating a vacuum that analysts claim could alter the course of the Raiders' season in ways that were previously unimaginable. The entire situation has left fans wondering if this is just the tip of the iceberg or if more revelations are on the horizon. Speculation has also focused on the personal side of Crosby's suspension, with whispers suggesting that there could be extenuating circumstances, ranging from accidental ingestion of banned substances to more deliberate violations. Whatever the cause, the story has morphed into a tense narrative that transcends football, touching on questions of trust, integrity, and accountability at the highest levels of professional sports. Some sources hint at private conversations between Crosby and the Raiders' leadership, exploring avenues to mitigate damage to his career while protecting the team's public image. Meanwhile, rival teams are quietly analyzing the situation, preparing strategies that could exploit the sudden vulnerability in the Raiders' defensive line, which have been considered a cornerstone of their game plan. Analysts are cautioning fans against assuming a short-term solution, highlighting that adjustments in defensive rotations, player development, and perhaps even tactical philosophies might be required to navigate this new reality. In the locker room, the ripple effects are reportedly visible, with younger players grappling with uncertainty and veterans trying to rally morale while facing the daunting task of filling the gap left by a dominant force whose presence was once considered irreplaceable. The media frenzy surrounding Crosby's suspension has been relentless, with insiders feeding a constant stream of speculation into sports networks, podcasts, and social media threads. Experts are dissecting the potential long-term consequences, suggesting that the Raiders could face challenges in recruiting future talent if the suspension is perceived as part of a wider organizational failure. Meanwhile, fan reactions have been intense and polarized, with some expressing unwavering support for Crosby, while others question the team's oversight and decision-making processes. The narrative has evolved into a story of crisis management, reputation control, and the fine line between personal accountability and systemic responsibility. Within the organization, Meetings reportedly involve heated debates about transparency, public relations strategy, and the timing of announcements, all while trying to maintain focus on upcoming games. Some speculate that the Raiders' front office may explore internal reforms or partnerships with external agencies to restore credibility and prevent similar incidents, though details remain vague. Across forums and sports commentary platforms, the discussion has transcended typical game analysis, turning into a broader debate about ethics, discipline, and the culture of professional football. Financial implications are also being speculated upon, as Crosby's suspension could influence sponsorship deals, ticket sales, and merchandise revenue. Analysts point out that star players are not only vital on the field, but also serve as marketable assets whose absence can create cascading effects across multiple revenue streams. The Raiders' management may be under pressure to act swiftly, balancing legal considerations, league protocols, and public relations while ensuring that the team remains competitive. Rumors suggest that insurance policies, performance bonuses, and contractual clauses are being scrutinized for potential loopholes or contingencies triggered by this unprecedented situation. The dynamic between players, coaches, and executives is reportedly under strain as internal alliances and trust levels are being tested in real time. Meanwhile, social media has amplified every hint of controversy, with fans dissecting interviews, leaked reports, and any minor signal from the organization, creating a digital pressure cooker that intensifies scrutiny on every decision the team makes. Within this maelstrom, some speculate that this suspension could redefine the Raiders' approach to compliance, accountability, and player management for years to come, turning a moment of crisis into a potential turning point for the franchise. Finally, speculation continues to mount regarding the potential league response and the broader implications for the NFL. Insiders suggest that the league office is closely monitoring the situation, potentially preparing statements, fines, or additional investigative steps that could influence not only Crosby's career but also the team's reputation on a national stage. Some experts theorize that this case could set precedents for how doping violations are handled in high-profile situations, prompting teams across the league to reassess their internal monitoring and education programs. Meanwhile, fans and commentators are fixated on the human element of the story, pondering the personal and professional toll on Crosby, teammates, and coaching staff. The uncertainty has created a narrative ripe for rumor, speculation, and debate, as every leaked detail or cryptic comment is magnified into a potential story of scandal or redemption. As the Raiders grapple with this crisis, one thing is certain. The ripple effects of Maxx Crosby's suspension are far-reaching, touching on competitive performance, team culture, financial considerations, and league-wide implications, creating a scenario that no analyst or fan could have predicted with certainty. As the Raiders attempt to navigate this unprecedented turbulence, insiders suggest that the coaching staff is scrambling to devise contingency plans that could reshape the team's entire defensive philosophy. Maxx Crosby's suspension reportedly forces a reconsideration of personnel deployment, with younger and less experienced players suddenly thrust into critical roles. Rumors indicate that practice sessions have taken on a heightened intensity, with coaches reportedly experimenting with unconventional formations, rotation schemes, and blitz packages in an effort to mitigate the absence of a player whose influence extended beyond raw statistics into leadership and morale. Analysts speculate that this forced adaptation could reveal hidden talent or, conversely, expose weaknesses that rival teams are eager to exploit. Meanwhile, whispers from within the locker room hint at private discussions where veterans are attempting to maintain cohesion and instill confidence. Yet some players are reportedly struggling to adjust mentally to the sudden shift in defensive hierarchy. Observers suggest that the psychological toll could be as impactful as the physical absence, with the team's identity potentially undergoing a profound transformation in the midst of what was expected to be a critical phase of their season. Speculation also swirls around the front office's reaction to the crisis, with insiders hinting at heated debates over potential trades, acquisitions, or emergency signings to patch the sudden void left by Crosby. Some analysts suggest that this could trigger a ripple effect across the NFL, as teams perceive the Raiders as suddenly vulnerable in a key area, potentially influencing free agency dynamics, draft evaluations, and strategic planning. Meanwhile, behind closed doors, executives are reportedly weighing the balance between immediate performance needs and long-term franchise stability, exploring whether short-term fixes might undermine broader team culture. Fans, meanwhile, are engaging in fervent online speculation, dissecting every tweet, social media post, or public statement for clues about the organization's next move. The narrative has evolved into a complex web of strategic, ethical, and operational questions, where the absence of one player has magnified the scrutiny on the organization as a whole. Analysts caution that the coming weeks may reveal whether the Raiders can transform adversity into resilience or whether this event marks a turning point with lasting consequences. The implications for team leadership have also become a focal point of speculation, with whispers suggesting that locker room dynamics could be reshaped in ways not yet visible to outsiders. Crosby's influence was reportedly more than just tactical. He was a motivator, a stabilizing force, and a key communicator between coaches and players. Sources hint that younger players are now being forced to step into leadership roles earlier than anticipated, which could either accelerate their development or create tension within the team hierarchy. Analysts speculate that this sudden leadership vacuum might affect in-game decision-making, practice intensity, and the overall culture of accountability. Meanwhile, reports suggest that the coaching staff is attempting to cultivate alternative leadership voices, a process fraught with challenges as players adapt to new responsibilities and expectations. Fans and commentators are dissecting every subtle interaction, tweet, and press conference for signs of unrest or resilience, further fueling speculation about the Raiders' internal stability. The narrative has transformed into a layered examination of identity, authority, and cohesion, with the team's trajectory hanging in the balance amid a situation that could define the organization for years to come. On the tactical side, rumors indicate that the Raiders may explore innovative defensive schemes previously considered unconventional as they attempt to offset the absence of a dominant edge rusher. Sources hint at increased utilization of hybrid positions, creative blitz rotations, and strategic adjustments to gap assignments to maintain pressure on opposing quarterbacks. Analysts speculate that these tactical shifts, if successful, could reveal hidden advantages and force rivals to adjust their strategies. Yet there is also concern that such experimentation carries risk, potentially exposing vulnerabilities in coverage, tackling, or overall coordination. The narrative has drawn attention from league observers, who are reportedly monitoring film and data to assess how the Raiders adapt in real time, viewing this as a test of coaching ingenuity and organizational depth. Meanwhile, whispers from within the team suggest that morale is being tested, with players feeling both the weight of expectation and the uncertainty of uncharted territory. Fans are engaging in feverish speculation about potential breakout stars or critical missteps, while commentators frame the story as a pivotal moment that could redefine not only the Raiders season, but also the perception of the franchise in the broader NFL landscape. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Financial and commercial consequences are also under intense scrutiny, with insiders hinting that Crosby's suspension could impact endorsement deals, sponsorship agreements, and even stadium attendance projections. Analysts speculate that a prolonged absence of a marquee player may affect the Raiders' marketability, creating pressure on executives to manage public relations and brand perception proactively. Rumors suggest that discussions are underway regarding internal communication strategies, fan engagement campaigns, and potential adjustments to marketing initiatives to maintain momentum amid controversy. Meanwhile, observers note that the financial implications are not limited to revenue streams, but could extend to player contracts, insurance clauses, and performance-based incentives, adding another layer of complexity to an already challenging situation. The narrative surrounding the suspension has become intertwined with economic considerations, highlighting the delicate balance between performance, reputation, and financial sustainability. Fans and media outlets continue to speculate, theorizing about cascading effects across the organization, while league officials are reportedly evaluating potential precedents for handling similar cases in the future, intensifying the spotlight on every decision the Raiders make. Whispers about potential league responses continue to fuel speculation, with insiders suggesting that the NFL may use Crosby's case as a reference point for future policy enforcement, disciplinary measures, and testing protocols. Analysts theorize that the league's handling could have far-reaching implications for all teams, potentially reshaping the approach to compliance, education, and internal oversight. Meanwhile, the Raiders are reportedly navigating a tightrope of legal considerations, public relations, and strategic adjustments, attempting to maintain competitiveness while demonstrating accountability. Fans and commentators speculate on a wide range of scenarios, from expedited appeals and mitigated penalties to more prolonged investigations that could keep Crosby sidelined for an extended period. Behind the scenes, whispers suggest that both team and league officials are engaged in cautious, meticulous coordination to manage optics, mitigate backlash, and maintain credibility. The situation has evolved into a complex narrative where speculation, rumor, and uncertainty intersect, creating a story that extends far beyond the field, touching on ethics, governance, and the fragile balance of trust within professional sports. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.